I'll check. I'll start where your fellow students. I'll just start with one bite. If I can swallow it.
Yeah, Joanna.
Oh, I didn't know this microphone could feel pain. It's screaming. This tragical Pyramus and Thisbe, my favorite poem. This tragical tale, which they say is a true one, is old, but the manner is wholly a new one. One Ovid, a writer of some reputation, has told it before in a tedious narration, in a style, to be sure, of remarkable fullness, but which nobody reads on account of its dullness.
Young Peter Pyramus, I call him Peter, not for the sake of the rhyme or the meter, but merely to make the name completer. For Peter lived in olden times, and in one of the worst of pagan climes, that flourished now in classical fame, long before either noble or poor had such a thing as a Christian name.
Young Peter, then, was a nice young beau, as any young lady would wish to know. In years, I ween, he was rather green. That is to say, he was just 18, a trifle too short, a shaving too lean, but a nice young man as ever was seen, and fit to dance with a May-Day queen.
Now Peter loved a beautiful girl, as ever ensnared the heart of an earl. And the magical trap of an auburn curl, a little Miss Thisbe who lived next door. They slept, in fact, on the very same floor, with a wall between them and nothing more. Those double dwellings were common of yore, and they loved each other, the legends say, in that very beautiful, bountiful way that every young maid and every young blade are wont to do before they grow straight and learn to love by the laws of the trade.
But alack a day for the girl and boy, a little impediment checked their joy, and gave them a while the deepest annoy. For some good reason which history cloaks, the match didn't happen to please the old folks. So Thisbe's father and Peter's mother began the young couple to worry and bother, and tried their innocent passion to smother by keeping the lovers from seeing each other.
But whoever heard of a marriage deterred or even deferred by any contrivance so very absurd as scolding the boy and caging his bird?
Now Peter, who wasn't discouraged at all by obstacles such as the timid appall, contrived to discover a hole in the wall, which wasn't so thick, but removing a brick made a passage, though rather provokingly small. Through this little chink the lover could greet her, and secrecy made the courting the sweeter, while Peter kissed Thisbe, and Thisbe kissed Peter. For kisses, like folks with diminutive souls, will manage to creep through the smallest of holes.
'Twas here that the lovers, intent upon love, made a nice little plot to meet at a spot near a mulberry tree in a neighboring grove, where the plan was all laid out by the youth and the maid, whose hearts, it would seem, were the uncommonly bold ones to run off and get married in spite of the old ones.
In the shadows of evening, as still as a mouse, the beautiful maiden slipped out of the house, the mulberry tree, impatient to find. While Peter, the vigilant matrons to blind, strolled leisurely out some minutes behind.
I would swear, but while waiting alone by the trysting tree, a terrible lion, as ere you set eye on, came roaring along quite horrid to see, and caused the young maiden in terror to flee. A lion's a creature whose regular trade is blood, and a terrible thing among ladies. And losing her veil as she ran from the wood, the monster bedabbled it over with blood.
Now Peter, arriving and seeing the veil all covered o'er and reeking with gore, turned all of a sudden exceedingly pale, and sat himself down to weep and to wail. For as soon as he saw the garment, poor Peter made up his mind in very short meter that Thisbe was dead and the lion had eat her.
So breathing a prayer, he determined to share the fate of his darling, the love and the loss, and fell on his dagger and gave up the ghost.
Now Thisbe, returning and viewing her beau lying dead by her veil, which she happened to know, she guessed in a moment the cause of his erring, and seizing the knife which had taken his life, in less than a jiffy was dead as a herring.
moral. Young gentlemen, pray recollect, if you please, not to make your assignations near mulberry trees. Should your mistress be missing, it shows a weak head to be stabbing yourself till you know she is dead.
Young ladies, you shouldn't go strolling about when your anxious mamas don't know you are out. And remember that accidents often befall from kissing young fellows through holes in the wall.